All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It is 3:20 in the afternoon on September the 9th, 2021. And today I get to do a $162 recap. And I definitely did way too much work for only a $162 recap today. I made a few good trades, and I made one really stupid trade that I know a lot better than to do, but I did it anyway, and I got to pay for it. So let's just kind of, and it was on CURV, and once you see what I did, you'll understand. You'll be like, yeah, okay. If you're out there and you're watching this video, I hope you learn from my mistake here, and I'll show you. Actually, let's go ahead and start with it. Let's get the crappy stuff out of the way first. So on CURV, right? Two obvious and terrific setups right here. One at $21.93 and the other one at $22.96. Now, why didn't I take those trades? Why didn't I enter as it crossed above its open, it ran up and kind of put in a pivot right here? This isn't exactly a pivot, but it's pretty close to a pivot. You can call it a pivot. Well, I wasn't fast enough. I had orders ready to go. In fact, on this one, when it crossed above $21.93, I had an order for $22. So I figured there'd be some slippage in there in this trade. But even at $22, and I think I had an order size of, I had 200 shares ready to go for an order size. And I couldn't get filled. So I was too slow. I mean, immediately after I clicked the button, like the prices just shot up. Like it went up to $21.94. I clicked the button as the price was crossing $21.93 and $21.94. And as soon as I hit the button, the price per share just shot up past 20. I'm sorry, it was 23, not $23, $22. Even. I don't know what I said. I'm getting kind of tired. I had it at $22 even, and as soon as I hit the button, it just shot up past my entry, and I couldn't get filled. And I didn't get filled, so I was like, okay, and so it ran up here to $22.96 in pretty short order, and so I got rid of the order. So after it dumped back down here again, my order was no longer live, right? So I was like, okay, I missed the trade. That's the way it goes. I missed the trade. I'll wait for the next opportunity. And it actually did give another opportunity to enter right there at $21.93. Just the only problem is that crossing above $21.93 is the strategy. Coming back down and testing and getting support at $21.93 is not the momentum strategy. It did give an entry there, and if you're watching this video and you're like, oh, well, you could have bought down here and then caught the ride. Well, yes, that's true, but I didn't know that it was going to do that at the time. It could have just as easily dumped to the downside after this big red candle. It could have easily kept going down for the rest of the day. So I was like, okay, well, here's the top of this pivot at $22.96. How about, I've got another chance here. I can get into this stock. And so it crossed above $22.96 right here. And I went to get into the trade, and I didn't get filled at $22.96. In fact, and I had $23 ready to go this time on this one right here. And it shot up to $23.20 about. Let's see, the high there. Yeah, high is $23.19. So I got left behind again, right? And I was like, all right. So I canceled the order, right? And so then in the next candle, it shot up to was that $23.78. So this in momentum trading, you most often in momentum trading, you only get a maximum of 2 bites at the apple. This right here is the first bite. This entry right here would be the first bite of the apple. And then this entry right here is the second bite at the apple. Then after that, on momentum trades, you just don't get third bites at the apple. It's just the way it goes. That's just how trading momentum goes. Now this stock, I kept watching it, and I'd traded some other things in the meantime, maybe before and after this. Well, I came back to this stock and started looking at it, and it started making this run right here. So it bumped up here to a high of 23.78. And then came down, and usually what momentum stocks would do for the rest of the day is just kind of come down, stair step down, and that's pretty much it for the rest of the day. Well, today, this stock, the traders on this stock decided to grind this thing all the way back up to $23.78. And I was watching it. And I knew, I was like, this is the third bite at the apple. This is not a trusty trade setup. It was even after 10:30. I stayed and traded late today. So here I am right here trying to get into this stock for the break of $23.78. It makes the break. I was only in for 100 shares right here. And I could have been profitable by about, I don't know, $30, right? But I was like, no. I'm going for the big momentum move. This thing is squeezing up. Although it's the third bite of the apple, and I know better, and it's past 10:30, and momentum stocks at 10:30 tend to just kind of not work anymore. But I decided to go for it anyway, so I got myself into 400 shares here. Every time it bumped up against $23.78, I bought for 400 shares over the span of this time frame from 10:36 in the morning until 10:43. And then what did it do? It started to trail down. So I wound up losing, I think it was about 50 cents, 40 cents or so, something like that, per share on CURV. Yeah, we'll call it 50 cents. It was a $200 loss on 400 shares. So it was a 50 cent per share loss. And I deserved that because I knew better. I deserved to pay for that lesson one more time, so that I learn it even more, like I need to learn it again. Now, look at this thing here for the rest of the day. It has definitely put in some moves that are tradable, but I didn't touch it again. Once burned, twice shy. And I shouldn't have been trading a momentum stock after 10:30 on the third setup. You've heard what I've said. All right, DraftKings. So DraftKings gave a good setup here, a few good setups actually. The first setup on DraftKings here was, I believe it was a break of the open or a break of the opening candle high. So I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me kind of make some more space here. This is the 1 minute. Why does this seem like it's so hard to see? Here we go. That's better. Okay, so here's the opening candle, and this is the high of the opening candle. And here's the open, $63.32 is the open. It did dip down just a tad and then crossed back above, but I wasn't fast enough to jump on that little bump down and then run back up again. So I got the break of the candle, this candle high right here. First trade this morning, it was the first minute of the day. I mean, it had to have been the first trade. And I made 9 cents per share on 300 shares. 63 at 63.62 roughly is what I paid, maybe just a tad bit above, and it ran up and then it started flattening back down again, and I let it go. I bought it and let go of it in the same candle right there because I was watching the level 2, and the level 2 started backing off. Now after that, it did do a nice jump open there back to 63.66 and ran up to as high as 64.10. But on a quick trade like this, I prefer to sell it as before it turns red on me, so that way I'm not waiting out. What can happen is if I don't sell it before it turns red on me, then I'll be sitting here for an hour or whatever, trying to manage this trade so that I come out of it break even or profitably. And it's not fun to do. I'd rather just take, even if it's a small profit, I'd rather take a small profit before it goes right on me. So that's what I did. It did run up and give a better trade, but I wasn't in it at the time. So, that's just the way it goes. The next trade that I took on DraftKings here was not a very good trade. Let's see, 11:16 in the morning. I guess I didn't mark it off. This 11:16:21, 15:16. Don't know. Let's see. 11:16:21 on DraftKings for another 300 shares. 11:16:21. I don't remember. This is when I acquired it. I don't know how I wound up. There must be some kind of mistake with my timestamp here. It says in the acquired date that at 11:16 in the morning here, I acquired DraftKings, but that's this candle right, this bottom candle right here, and I lost 40 cents on it. Let's see, 63.10 and the 62.90. I don't know. That doesn't make sense because I didn't buy it in this candle. It says I sold it in this candle, or it says I bought it in this candle, but I know that I didn't buy it in this candle because that would have been like pretty close to the bottom there, and there's not a 40-cent difference in this candle. I don't know. Acquired open date, DraftKings, 11:16. I don't know. Well, okay. Anyway, I made some kind of a mistake on trading DraftKings the second time, and I gave back about $80 on that one. And then later on, I was doing, look at all these lines on the chart here. Let's go to the 10-minute. It might be easier to see. I have a target, and I'd be surprised to see DraftKings close below $64.19 today. I think it'd be kind of strange for it to close below $64.19. But anyway, at some point over here, let's see if it gives me an accurate time. I bought 10 options on DraftKings for a strike of $94. No, wait, $64. Yeah, a strike of $64. Expiration the 24th of September. It says 11:39. So let's see, 11, 20, 30. So right before this candle right here, right about here, I bought those 10 options. And I was getting tired of trading the stock. I was like, let me just trade some options. And that way, with the options, I think I had, I don't know, maybe $2,000 at risk, and it was a lot easier to control risk with the options. And so I was like, 10 options is, 1,000 shares, so it made the move past 64 here, which was really nice. And I managed to make only 16 cents per option on 1,000 options. So $160 on this move from 63.89 up to 64.40. I think I let it go right after it broke through $64 right in here. And so, I don't think I maximized my gains, but it was $160. It was nice, especially after having like some really crappy trades on DraftKings, or well, at least one crappy trade on DraftKings. Okay, then LULU. LULU was really nice for a couple of trades. I did go negative on it. I traded this one 3 times. Let's see if I marked off 2 of the trades. And let's see. Okay, yep. So the first thing that I marked off, or the first trade that I took, was right here after this bottom pin. This is a bottoming pin. I like this. This is like a thumbtack kind of thing. Some people might call it a hangman, but I don't know. I like this for a reversal signal. And so I bought this. Let's see. I only bought 25 shares, but I got $2.05 per share. So I bought it here, somewhere in here. At 4, I think it was at 4, almost 426, and I sold it somewhere after it broke down below 428 again on this pin, on this thing right here. I did climb higher, but I got the trade on it. And then there actually, let's see, there are 2 more trades on LULU. I made another $94 on 50 shares on LULU. But I don't remember where that was. And then on another 25 shares, right here, for whatever reason, I tried to get into another trade right here. I don't remember why I tried to do that, but I wound up losing on that 25 shares. Let's see, I lost $30, right? So I lost $1 per share after having made, let's see, $2, almost $4 per share, on my other trades. So I gave a little bit back, but that's okay. BILI. Now this one was really interesting. This is one that I just had on watch today. I didn't expect much out of it, and it actually did a really good job. Here's the support line right here that I put on it this morning. And it came right down to it this morning at the opening, pretty much at the opening. Dipped down below it and found support right there at the support line, and then took off and really hasn't looked back for the rest of the day here. It's been, it's made a really nice move. I tried taking, let's see, 50 shares right here because it looked to me like we had this pivot right here, and this candle right here broke the high of the pivot. So I was like, okay, this thing's getting ready to take off, and then it kind of sagged. I was like, all right, well, so I let go of it for a 24-cent loss here, and then after, I think it was only like a matter of a couple of minutes. It was only a couple minutes after I let it go, it decided to start, it rips. It then does what I expected it to do on the candle that I entered it on. So a little bit of a frustrating day. The first half of the day was a little bit frustrating, and actually by this point here in the day, I was only break even. If you look from DKNG, these DraftKings options down, I was break even for the entire day. After all that, it was the fortunately it was the SPY options right in here. I went to lunch. I went to lunch, and I came back, and the SPY was breaking down into a support zone that I have marked off in accordance with the VIX here. Let's see. Oh, actually, you know what? It's It's part of Hedgeye. I have a Hedgeye subscription, and they had a cap on the VIX today at 1898. And so when I got back from lunch today, you can see his trade was at 1439. This is when I got into these SPY options right here. And here's 1439 right here. And they had 1898 as the level to watch on the VIX for an entry signal on the SPY. And so I got into 20 options, a 20 options position. For the expiration was September the 22nd, and the strike was 450. And I managed to get about 8 cents, maybe a little bit more per options contract, and that's what put me up this 160 on the day. That's what brought me back from having a break-even day. So there's too much information for any one person to digest and participate in the market. So I've got help, and Hedgeye is a big help. Hedgeye puts out good levels, good risk levels. So good job, Hedgeye. All right. Other than that, let's see what's going on. Not much else really going on. Energy looks like it's taking a dip. Here, I'll bring down some of the stuff that I keep an eye on. So the 10 years dipping down a little bit, showing a little bit of weakness. This is all these lines here look like the laser light show at a Pink Floyd concert. This is kind of an old way of doing statistics or chart analysis. I don't know. I have 1.34 marked off, and it seems to be important. I don't know what it means. I don't. It's closing below today, so it's showing a little bit of weakness. This could be a bear flag. It could be just a down move, and what could be a move from the bottom. I don't know. So. Yeah, we're supposed to be coming into a little bit of economic weakness, but then Q1 and Q2 of 2021 look like they're going to be sensational, and I mean good sensational. So I don't know if the market's going to look past Q4 of this year. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure how it's going to affect rates, but anyway. Silver and precious metals got a little bit of a bid today. They're up by about 0.5%. And falling rates. The 10 years yield is down 2.63%. So that's that's going to be good for precious metals. Real estate investment trust here, and energy. Energy's. I've got this line on. This is B&O. And I've got this downward sloping line here. It looks, there are a lot of people who are really bearish energy. Who are really bullish energy. But this thing looks kind of bearish to me. There needs to be a close above this trend line and then a hold, which actually it's done a couple of times. If you look back here, you can see close above, then confirmation. These, let's see, this right here, close above, confirmation, dipped back down below, close above, confirmation, then it dipped back down below again. And here's close above, here's confirmation, came back down hard. And so now we've got a close above right here, but no confirmation. So it's possible energy could be, there are a lot of people who are really bullish energy right now. But it's possible that there could be a lull in energy for the time being, and until this thing can get back above 1978, and confirm and then move higher. Would I say we're neutral or we're bearish? I would say because of, let's see. I'm going to say we're neutral. I'm going to be neutral on energy. A close below this 1678 down here on B&O, and it's definitely very bearish. All right, so that's my recap for the day, everybody. Good luck out there. Keep your wrist tight. Click like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, tap the bell, and I will see you at tomorrow morning's strategy session. I am out.